to our 7th and 8th grade spring band concert. We're excited that you're here and our opportunity to show off all the things that we've learned throughout the year. I'm Connie Summers, I'm Director of Bands for Buckeye Local Schools, and this is the 7th grade band seated before you. Can you give them a round of applause? They've been working hard throughout the year, learning more notes, more complicated rhythms, and greater musicianship. And so hopefully you're going to see that highlighted in the music we're doing this evening. We're going to open our concert with a fanfare by Ohio composer James Swearingen. This is Journey to the Stars. Our next selection is also by a fellow Ohioan and former Buckeye Local Schools head director, Gene Milford. I'm just curious, how many of you out there had, show of hands, how many of you had Mr. Milford as a band director while he was here? That's wonderful. This work also uses mixed meter, and what I mean by that is most songs start in one time signature, and they stay that way all the way through the song. So if it's in 4/4 time, there are 4 beats in every measure, and it stays all the way through the song. This one is using mixed meters, so we start in 4/4 time, we go to 3/4 time, we go into 2/4 time, and we go back around to all of these time changes. And it makes it challenging, not only to be thinking about what's coming next, but also in the way that it feels. You're going to feel a lilt to the music that you don't typically feel if it's going all in the same time signature. And we're going to take you on a pirate adventure of the high seas. This is Pirate's Cove. by Elliot Del Borgo. To describe this piece, he writes, "From out of the dense fog, the faint outlines of a large ship begin to appear. As it draws closer, the size and power of the vessel become more distinct. Wind and waves intensify as the full weight of the ship and the sea are pitted against one another. After a brief respite, the proud ship sails off in glory." This is Phantom Ship. They've been working diligently to put it together. So listen for a variety of percussion sound effects and dust off your imagination as these nasty dust bunnies seek their revenge. And there's only one thing that can save us from the wrath, or can it? Revenge of the dust bunnies. Before our last selection, I'd like to highlight some students that have done additional work in band. Their names are highlighted in the program with additional symbols next to their names. So to point out who they are, in the 7th grade band, we had 4 students in the 7th grade band who participated in the Youngstown State University Middle School Honors Band. And they were selected among students all across District 5. District 5 is all of Ashtabula County, all of Trumbull County, and the top half of Mahoning County. So it's a pretty large area. And we had 4 students. They are Max Goot on clarinet, Abby Adams on trombone, Gabby Johnston on percussion, and Sebi Ponteri on percussion. Give them a round of applause. We also had several students that performed. We had several students that performed at the Ohio Music Educators Association Solo and Ensemble adjudicated event. And what this is are students that go to an area school. There are judges who are band directors from around the state that come in, and they listen to students and they give them a rating of 1 to 5. 1 being the highest rating, a superior rating, 2 is excellent, 3 is good, 4 is in progress, and 5 we just don't talk about. So, but anyway, we have 3 7th grade students that participated in that. We have Max Goot that took a clarinet solo, Abby Adams took a trombone solo, and Gabby Johnston took a mallet solo. All 3 of these students received a superior rating of 1 for their solo. Please give them a round of applause. We're going to close our portion of the concert with this tune, which uses lots of mixed meter changes. We talked about mixed meter earlier in the concert. This one is going back and forth between 3/4 time and 2/4 time, almost exclusively. It's set up in an ABA form, meaning that the beginning of the song and the end of the song sound very similar, and the middle section is a little bit different. And so you're going to be hearing it go back and forth from 3/4 to 2/4 in both the A sections, And that middle 2 section, that middle B section, is in 3/4 time exclusively. It doesn't change. And then we go back out into mixing meter again. And this piece has been very challenging, but our students have really excelled at it. This is time travel. Scratch that. I'll say that again. All right. We have, I'm sorry, I skipped one. So we have Take the Blues String. And this one is a really fun song. It uses the blues scale, which is slightly different than your regular 8-note scale. It's used a lot in jazz, but specifically in blues music. Take the Blues Train takes us on a train ride by recreating sounds of an old steam locomotive. You're going to hear the bell, the steam as the engine moves, the train cars forward and gains speed. Picture yourselves riding along on the train, thinking about what you might see out of the windows until we pull into the station. So get on board and take the blues train. And now we will do time travel. So again, these students have worked very, very hard, and it's been a great year working on all of the things we've gotten to. Some very challenging concepts, and they've done a wonderful job. So we are going to finish out. Here is time travel. a minute as we change from 7th grade to 8th grade. And so we're going to be filing off in the back and bringing our 8th grade up on stage. So give us just a couple minutes. Thank you.